From Felipe. So, welcome to our talk, Inside the Fish Tank, a guide to compromising phishing infrastructure, which is a pretty fancy talk of me and Felipe going brew on some phishing panels. All my talks start with that. Viewer discretion is really advised. If you are easily offended, good for you. You can leave. My last talk was in Saudi Arabia. I wasn't allowed to say fuck a lot, so I'm gonna double on that. I have promised to Felipe that I'm going to say only 5 times the word fuck. I already said it too, so fuck. We are all out of fucks. That's me. Fancy photo. You can follow me on Twitter. Fuck Elon Musk. It's Twitter. It's not X. I'm the CTO at a penetration testing firm called Atropos, which is specialized in renewable energy and API penetration testing. I'm also kinda well known for my research on APIs for IoT, and for the past 3 years, going after malware, ransomware, APTs. If there is crime, I'm after it. And that nice dude is...
My name is Felipe. I have like a pretentious job title, and I pretty much hack whatever dodgy link he sends me. Yeah. That's his research, is me saying, Felipe, can you check this? And every time it's like, is this illegal? Is this illegal? So like, it's a fine line that we pass at some point. We are here to talk about the phone snatching and how we are going to kinda hack them, fuck them, and I don't know. We're gonna see later. Is it an epidemic? It seems that it's becoming an epidemic here in London, that most of you live. Phone snatching in London, it's getting out of hand. Most of them are being stolen by a bike, a scooter or whatever, and then they are sent to China for parts, unless they can be unlocked. We can see here a video, the criminals, etc. You have the phone on your hand, someone is sprinting or on a bike, on an e-bike or whatever next to you, it just grabs the phone of you and you're pretty much fucked, you just lost your phone. Some nice statistics, it seems that most of it is happening in Westminster. In all my wisdom, there is where I live for this week. So I don't get my phone outside my hand. And there's a lot of snatching and everything happening in the center of London. And we're getting to the criminal's way. Selling it for parts means way, and I mean way less money. So if you can find an unlocked phone, it goes, for a new iPhone, it goes 400 to 500 pounds. For parts, it's just 150 pounds, so it's way less. And as all criminals do, they wanted to maximize their profits. Capitalism. So they had to find a way to unlock. The easiest way to unlock was phishing. So what's happening? Once you get your phone stolen, you will get one of those are indicatory, they're changing templates and everything. You're gonna get the phone to your recovery phone number or your own phone number or on your new, because when you lock your phone, there's a screen that says, call this or whatever that says, your lost iPhone has been found by the police department, check the details, or your lost iPhone was found by Apple, check the details. You can see the links in there that they're not obviously Apple. Apple, if it finds your phone, it will probably sell it back to you and not give it to you like that. But what you got in there is this. Once you are being phished, or you or whoever else got their phone stolen, they're getting their identity. So they're getting their iOS, their Apple Store, their whatever Apple Cloud, I don't remember what it's called. So they're doing, it was used for people to stole just the phone. Now it seems they're stealing everything. So they're stealing bank credits, they're stealing, because they have access to iCloud backup, so they can also get emails, they could steal the whole personas. This is mostly the timeline of how is it going. The phone is stolen, as we said, then it's sold to a criminal, another criminal, the one who stole it is also a criminal, who identifies the phone model, which is usually, this is an iPhone, sends the phishing SMS to victim or relative or whoever is the recovery iPhone iPhone contact. If they're phished, they steal their credentials, and then they profit of them. So what we did, phishing as a service, we were able to identify 4 different families. There are a lot of installations, but those are 4 different panels. We're going to call them families. One went belly up during our research. We have some indication that our research made them go belly up, but this is just what we think. Most of them have Telegram-based communications, and all of them have a monthly fee for their users. This is a shout-out to a really good friend. I consider him a friend. It's G-Worm. Please drop him a follow on Twitter or anything else on his Linktree. He has done the heavy lifting of CTI, of threat intelligence. I personally suck at threat intelligence. I don't understand how they do it. I don't understand how they find all this shit. But Felipe is also pretty shit in this.
I don't even know what it is. I had to Google.
So, yeah, he did all the heavy lifting. We went there and told him, we think that this is an epidemic. Can you help us? And he was like instantly saying, yeah, this is a family, this is another family, this is another family. You go do what you do. So, yeah, thanks, G-Worm. I would really want an applause for him because he's going to see the video. Thanks a lot. That's for you, G-Worm. My methodology is the same on pretty much all my talks. So what I do is identify the panel, the web page or whatever, try to find an account, probably a demo or something that they create so that we can see, find any or all vulnerabilities and pwn them. Again, my tool set is kind of repeating on all my talks. It's deer search, or if Felipe is doing it, who is really fancy, FFUF, burp shoot, several droplets of digital ocean because we get blocked a lot. So Dan.io, so that we can bypass a certain company that is, everyone is hiding behind it. It's Cloudflare. URLscan.io, which was used by G-Worm to find all those families. Teletokens info, so that we could extract info from the Telegram tokens. And my Android phone, because that's what I do. Let's set some goals. As I said, identify phishing sites. That's already done by the G-Worm. We can have a check. Try to find vulnerabilities. We're going to see if we find vulnerabilities. Identify anyone behind them. Try to disrupt panels and threat actors. We're going to see how we could disrupt them and what we did. Do not disturb any active LEA investigation. That's always one of the biggest fears that we have, that if we're going after a criminal and LEA is also going after a criminal, we make him go under, we disrupt it. My Greek friends will understand, don't be a malakas, never do something that would cause harm to anyone else. And the win for any panel is remote command execution. Anything less than remote command execution, we're gonna have half the points, or not all the points. What are the typical panels? They're advertised in underground forums. As we said, there is a monthly fee that the users are paid for phishing. They handle pretty much everything, so they call it full service. You do everything, all the SMSs, all the handling, all the automated way of unlocking iCloud, and it's accessible obviously from a web panel. That's why I'm here. The web panels are PHP. You all know how much I love PHP because it's pretty shit. They rarely use any framework. They use SMS services, a lot of SMS services and a lot of API tokens, and they are hosted usually behind fucking Cloudflare. I'm gonna be honest, I hate them a lot because they just ignore anything that you report them. When you report something to Cloudflare, they just say, yeah, we talked with the client, he's okay with that. Like,
He didn't ban you.
yeah, like, no, they haven't banned me yet. How we can disrupt the panels? One is the obvious thing, like delete everything. That's not a great idea because one, you destroy pretty much everything and then they just rebuild and they know they have an issue, so you have to find a more constructive way of stopping them. You could report the API keys to Cloudflare, as we said, they don't give a fuck, or their SMS, so they ban their SMSs. You could dump all data and then communicate those to Apple and pray to whatever your God is that Apple will act on it. You can report to Apple, and last but not the fanciest is spam their Telegram channel so that they're not gonna know exactly which data is correct and which is not.
So the first panel we're going to talk about is the Barbudo panel. They've been around for around 2 years. Their main target are Apple devices, and they are mainly focused on the Brazilian market as well. When Barbudo is a Portuguese word that means like a thick beard. So this is pretty much how, it's like a thick beard. And you can see like this is their landing page. So you have like guys drinking whiskey, cigars.
They're branded guys. They seem fancy, right?
Yeah, they seem very fancy. So yeah, then you have like login page. So we start with the basics, run their search. You can see that they're running PHP. You can see a link for a cPanel. And then from there, we also identified, the dashboard they were using. This is unauthenticated, but with this, we can actually check the calls. We won't have authentication. If you're not checking the authentication, you might end up getting something, and it turns out they are allergic to single quotes. So, yeah, they had a blind time-based SQL injection.
Which is really slow.
Which is very slow, very painful, prone to error, and slow and painful. And yeah, we managed to dump, after a lot of time, we managed to dump the admin password. But it was bcrypt, and every time he sends me a bcrypt hash, I was like, dude, fuck my life, I hate you.
I want to say also that we took it through time because most of the tables and of the columns were in Brazilian, so there's
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Sorry about that. It was in Portuguese, sorry. So you get it took us some time to find what Portuguese for passport stands. He's Portuguese, he should know it, but...
I'm Brazilian, but yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
So yeah, basically, we got like a nice bcrypt hash, so like, oh, fuck. But...
Hey, stop saying fuck.
Sorry. So they were like, he used the term morons, I prefer naive. So they're like, okay, we're using bcrypt, we're safe, but their password was 11223344. So you just run hashcat. He cracked like in a second. It was cold that day. I was so happy I was going to have, because I'm a cheap fuck, so I didn't turn the heating on. I was so happy that I was going to have some heat in the room. But no, cracked like in under a second. You can see like the amount of tries. It's ridiculous, It's like top 2,000 something from Rocky, It's like a fucking CTF, really. So, at least you tried. They did the kind of right thing using bcrypt. If they just had like 2 exclamation marks, we wouldn't be able to crack that thing. But yeah, so we got admin access to the panel. Pretty easy. And then from there, you can see they have like a fancy dashboard with like messages that they can...
There's an administration in there that says all your users.
Yeah, you can see...
And other Portuguese things, I don't understand.
Service, notifications, server, email, domains, server configuration. So yeah, so you can list all the users, and that's pretty much what we did. We dumped all the SMSs they sent, all the users they had. We had access to the SMS as well. And then Vangelis was kindly writing the slides, because he's better at this than I was. But he's also, he gets distracted. So he was just like, oh, let me keep hacking these fuckers.
Well, we didn't have RC, as we said.
Yeah,
to get all the points, you need RC. So while I was preparing the slides, because he had to go somewhere, so I was writing the slides, I said, why don't we try some variations on some passwords?
Yeah, so he checked the configuration files, like, oh, what if I change this, like, add a couple of extra characters, remove a couple of extra characters, and then access to the cPanel. So, yeah. Just downloaded everything, like full access to everything, download the code, download the database, report to Apple, and then 10 of 10, would not recommend. It was actually a very fancy panel. They have loads of features. They have loads of like templatings, connection to, it was very fancy. They even have like other services like link shorteners. I was impressed. I was like, oh, okay, I understand where they're coming from, but yeah, still crime.
Okay. This one is an extra that we have there. It's a state red. It's not a phishing exactly for that. It's mainly a calling panel. It also has some SMS features. So it was used for phishing for stolen phones, but it was mainly used as a calling service that was phishing older people. First appearance was 3 years ago. It was masked as a scripted call service, and it was mainly targeting boomers and vulnerable people. Again, fucking Cloudflare. I used Sudan.io because, I don't know, I'm a hacker, so I found the direct IP address. They had an exposed Git repository. And can you tell me what you see here? So you get, that's also unauthenticated. You don't need to be authenticated. So the path, if the get path is set, read the file and show it. And that's, as far as I remember, a local file include, which means, sorry, so from there, full admin on the panel, database dump, shared with the authorities and TechCrunch, and TechCrunch did what they always do. They did some kind of article, got the boomer, how cyber criminals steal one-time passwords, yada, yada, yada. And then in their webpage that they were, you can see that they had the actual messaging board and everything. They had that shout that says, is the API back on? Is the API back on? Then the admin just said, no, nothing is on, deleted everything. And I would say that, yeah, that's a win. That's another RC.
So these guys are like my favorite, really. They were the biggest of all. They have loads of installations. They've been around for a long time. And we call them no name because
they're shitty and they have no name. So
yeah, we didn't
if anyone wants to give them a name, I'm happy to collaborate with anyone and call them as you want. But right now it's called no name.
Yeah, they had like over 30 installations, 1,000 domains. PHP because, you know, PHP is nice if you know what you're doing, I guess, but, you know, don't use PHP. Use something like Node.js, I don't know. And they
use PHP if you're doing crime. Don't go Node.js.
Yeah, they were using the Code Igniter framework. And yeah, this is their landing page. If you Google it, you can still find it still there. And they had like some nice things saying that, I think my Spanish is not, I think they said that the strongest, I forgot the term. Like the strongest challenge is the one within yourself or something. My Spanish is a bit, something you read from like Joe Rogan, something. So and again, allergic to single quotes. Logging. If you're just like, actually my email is single quote, which is bad. But the main problem was, the first one we found was just error-based, and that's awful, because, it takes time. So we managed to move towards error-based by, like a verbose one, by just doing typecasting, which was nice. But we couldn't run SQL Map because they had Unity 360, which was blocking everything, so we need to do manual testing. It was hard to guess because everything was in Spanish. Again. The tables, almost everything. And I tried pretty much everything as ChatGPT to guess the name of the table, the password table, and I couldn't get it right. It was PW, the name of the column, sorry, which sucks, it should be like my third guess, but whatever. So
there is something small on the bottom right, as you can see there. Can you see that really small flame in there? This is CodeIgniter's debug bar.
Yeah, that's why they're my favorite.
They wanted to use a freaking framework, so they are secure. They fucked up with SQL injection, and they also had it in debug mode. So once you click on it...
And the problem with this one is that actually they had more debugging than the other ones.
Yes.
And you got lucky. It was the first one. And I was like, that's beautiful, because they were YOLOing so hard. Because you can check like the database calls, the files, the routes. So we could actually see the API calls. So most of the time it was just like clicking, sending like calls to the endpoint and checking the database, see if they were going to do something with the password to try to map the database. And you could also see the last 20 calls with everything, all the details, like server variables, everything.
CI Session, which stands for CodeIgniter Session, which stands for your login.
And also, at some point I was just clicking and I was like, wait, I didn't send this one? What's going on? Somebody just logged in. The admin logged in, and we could just see the session token there. So it's like, okay, is life just a CTF? What's going on here? So it's just like, Vangelis, look at this. It's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, fuck. So, But no, we got lucky. So we just started doing everything. With Access, we could see, pretty much everything they were doing. The servers, the APIs, templates, all the domains. And we actually, because we had Access, this is what a victim sent. You can see like some codes there, the emails, the phone numbers, and then from there we could just get access to the cPanel as well. We could dump the cPanel, and then now that we knew how to do it, we could retrieve from using SQL injection. So we had full access to everything. That's through the cPanel. We had access to everything. We could get code backup. We could download the database. Then we could report to Apple. But the problem is there were like so many installations. We couldn't do it manually. So, we had to weaponize it. Vangelis was like, Felipe, we need to automate it. It was like, okay. And by we is me. It's always me writing the code because he hates writing code.
Yeah.
So based like Python script, just, check if it's going, your DNS is resolving, if it's going over HTTP or HTTPS. And then, just exploit SQL injection. We could get like 32 bytes at a time because of like how it was truncating. But just with Python script, we would dump all the credentials and then we'd download everything. That's pretty much it. We found like 18 active instances, 30K compromised accounts, 150 different users.
We found a guy who had half an Apple Store with him. You can see he had like 4 MacBook Airs, 2 iPhones, and I don't know. He has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and you're, like Vangelis said, you're more than welcome to name them because We could give, I could have chosen like 3 or 4 names. I wasn't sure, he wasn't sure, and we don't care, to be honest.
I was leaning about cPanel, but yeah. Last one is the one that got us in. It's called SMS Kit, and this SMS Kit official. I really love when criminals use the word official, because you can see here that they're mostly based on Telegram, and they're explaining how it works, what they're expecting, how to use their tokens, what they're expecting for the victim to get, and how to interact with them. We have identified 3 servers, multiple installations on those servers. It was around for about 2 years. And again, everything was behind fucking Cloudflare. If there is a Cloudflare employee in here, I had once my talk and there was their CTO. Not a great experience. Would not recommend. So again, me being me and being super hacker, I just ran the research. They had a lot of error logs exposed and even more open DIRs. As you can see here, they were leaking a bot token. Not that fancy, right? When I say a lot of open DIRs, I mean a lot of open DIRs and a lot of exposed logs. You can see here another SMS message in Morocco. That guy got hacked, got phished, I don't know the exact term. And on one of those funnels, they had a zip file with source code. I did some code review because, yeah, you don't really need code review. I just went for system. And it has get run. If the get run is there, get command, system the CMD, all good. All good indeed. Does anyone know what that means? It means my good friend is fucking back. RC, remote command execution, pretty much everything else, full access to everything, and I mean everything. Code backup, because, you always need to back up their code. Database backup, reporting to Apple. They pulled an exit scam, unfortunately. That's the one that went belly up. They took offline all their websites. They deleted all Telegram channels. So, all in all, I would say that's perfection. That's the ultimate disruption in my point of view. We're getting to the end of our talk, and this is probably one of my favorite and least favorite things to talk about. Are we the baddies? I practically broke a lot of laws. Felipe didn't do anything. I'm the bad in here. We're in Greece. Greece has a really strange situation about that, so they have to legally, the person who you hacked has to legally go after you. If they want to go after me, be my guest. I always wanted to see myself as not a vigilante, but a Socratic fly. The fly who will go around the bad persons and disrupt them, interrupt them, and don't make them feel that comfortable, not make them feel that they are invulnerable. That's for my good friend. He said I should add that the secret ingredient for success is crime. We're not doing crime. They're doing crime. We are taking away their secret ingredient. Fuck the fishers. So let's check what we did for our goals. We identified the phishing sites. I think we found enough vulnerabilities, right? We didn't say that. We identified not all, but some of the people behind them. We disrupted some of the panels. We're still working into disrupting some more. I believe we did not disturb any active LEA investigations. If we did, we usually get a phone call with someone screaming. I failed on the don't be a malakas, but that's just me. Because
you always fail.
Yeah, I always fail. And I think I won on pretty much everything because we got our CE on everything. What are the next steps? We're going to continue scanning for new panels. We will try to find better contact at Apple so that, again, if someone is working at Apple, please reach out. I'm more than happy to provide you with all our info so that we can help the people who lost all their phones. And last but not least, hack the bad guys. Always hack the bad guys. Thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. No questions? Thank you. Oh, you have a microphone or?
I have a microphone. Great talk, great topic. Quick question, do you know the economic side of it? You were talking about the number of, or the cost of selling the iPhones, or the revenue they were having. Do you have any idea on the disruption that it caused to the criminals? Like million, because you know the users, you know how much their phones would be sold. Like in the future, in the next 10 years, if they continue their business, how much iPhones?
No, I could give you a ballpark of probably 5 million per year, but that's an educated guess. It needs to be properly reviewed, and I don't like data, I like hacking shit, sorry. Sure,
yeah.
My question is, how did you go about finding the domain? Like during your...
I said Z-Worm did all that heavy lifting. He provided all the domains and everything. I don't understand CTI. I'm a moron. I just understand SQL injections. Sorry. Anyone else?
You said you reported to Apple. Did you report it to law enforcement agencies in the various countries? How's that going?
I did report to some LEAs, but most LEAs don't really care about these kind of things. I have enough connections to LEAs nowadays due to situations they do care about. That's not one of the things they care about. Again, if someone is LEA in here and they want their data, please reach out. I'm more than happy to provide them to you. Anyone else?
When you cracked that bcrypt hash, and it was an easy password, were you worried that could have been a canary or a bit of a...
Dude,
no.
They had a SQL injection.
There isn't PHP,
No
they don't know what canary is. And even if it was tough luck, we're not getting paid to do it.
They had SQL injection, an authenticated SQL injection in their login. There are no canaries in there. Or if they were, they're already dead, like decades ago. Anyone else? No? Thank you again, guys.